Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Authentic Happiness Show. I'm Suzanne, and this is my friend Enzo and my friend Jara.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I love your shirt this evening, sir.
What is on there, Enzo?
I got little purple sunsets with tiny sailboats.
Yes.
Oh, that's
It's a
tranquil.
beautiful, beautiful purple sky. I love that time of sunset when it's color.
I'm not like a big purple guy by any means, but when I saw this shirt, it's like I kind of like it. So
I like it. It's nighttime.
and we're coming to you live from a different location tonight. This is the Hog's Breath Saloon in Key West, Florida.
Oh, Key West.
Nice. You look a little older over there.
Got a band playing on stage here. This is kind of like a little dance area kind of a thing. And it does seem to have a little older crowd, I'll have to admit.
Yeah, it does. And that's in, what was it called? It's called Hobbs something?
The name, it's the Hog's Breath Saloon in Key West.
That's cool. Disgusting.
Key West, Florida. Man, it'd be nice to be there right now.
Yeah, I know. Out there
or is it
Islands
season right there? It's hurricane season still, though, I think, isn't it? Or no, is it?
I don't know when that ends. I have to be honest. I would think probably by the end of November, it's probably clear after that.
Right. You'd think, but then we were 110 all the way into October. So you never know, right? Never know.
Right. And there was a hurricane in the Appalachian Mountains. So you really never freaking know, because how in the hell is there a hurricane in the mountains, to be honest with you?
Yeah, that was pretty ugly. The way that tracked up there like that. That's very rare to happen.
Yeah, it's like rare, like it never happens. Yeah, I don't know about never, but yeah, it's super rare.
Maybe like, I don't know.
They don't, usually hurricanes turn into a tropical storm. They don't stay organized after they hit land, not especially mountainous.
Well, normally they lose strength. There will be a lot of water and stuff like that, but for whatever reason, this tracked up where it doesn't normally make it that far up the coast and inland. And in some of those heavily mountain areas, stuff like you get a lot of rain, there's nowhere else for it to go. And it just creates havoc.
That's crazy. It is a crazy world we live in, ladies and gentlemen.
Every single place on the face of the earth has some kind of weather issue that you have to deal with at some point. They're like, you mentioned it's like 110 where you guys are at, and that would horrify some people. You know, I live in Kansas, and we have tornadoes that rip through in the spring and summer and sometimes fall. That horrifies other people. I used to play an online game with people. They were all over the world, and all the European people would be like, "Yep, we got this hurricane, or we got a tornado that happened here." And at that time, we were having earthquakes too from Oklahoma, from fracking down in Oklahoma. And they're like, "Why do you live there? Move!"
Right? I know. It's crazy. Some of the places that people live are like extreme. Although whoever lived in Arizona at one point in time, it was pretty extreme because there's all kinds of volcanoes going off. So.
It's that.
And it's extreme now. I mean, look how hot it was. Our phones wouldn't even work when we were touring that place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So trying to get some video there. Trying to get some video, and it's like, your phone is overheating and will shut down. It's like, what?
Right?
Because I didn't even think it felt like it was that hot to me. But technology did not
hotter than crap to me.
Yeah, there was a moth that died in my car on the dashboard, and like it was in there for like a day, and the sun was hitting it, and it was all like crispy and like tannish brown color. I was like, that's crazy. It like the sun literally cooks everything. I accidentally left a lamp outside, and it melted the lamp, like the socket. It was all warped. Wow.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm gonna cook something next summer.
And everybody's a little different. Like, obviously you guys enjoy living down there, but like for me, that's one of those factors. It's like, God, I don't want to have to be like locked in the house in the AC, because honestly, I hate the air conditioning. I hate it. It gives me an
I
earache
know.
after a
I
while
hate
and
it.
all that. And but you have to, like someplace like that where
Right.
you're at.
Well, we don't like that at all. We just we don't like that. No, we don't like it at all. It's frustrating, and it's frustrating here that we don't have any in between. So we go from like hot to like cold. So there's no. I mean,
It
today's
really
like
pisses
really
me off.
nice right now, but
It really pisses me off to have to go from the air conditioner to the heater. But I didn't do that this year. I was like, we're just gonna be cold.
Yeah,
right.
there's never that happy medium. There's
Yeah.
always going to be something, no matter where you live, that it's a factor.
Well, Susie, your house is already freezing. So like
It's bad. It's really
your
bad.
house is so cold. It's so cold. It's like super cold. The AC works
It's like
really well.
hang meat downstairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do better where it's cold and stuff like that, because that's just my body type. Is I'm certainly an ancestor of mine. Sure, was hunting woolly mammoth with a short spear over the steppes in Russia or something like that. Just some cold climate. I've always done well in cold climates, but I don't want to shovel snow anymore. That's why I refuse to live anywhere north of like where I'm at.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
I've
too.
always liked hot weather too, actually, because I grew up on the lake, and I feel like I grew up like my ancestor was like in a cliff by Lake Powell somewhere down by the river in the sun.
You were right at home then when we were touring
Oh my goodness, yes, I
place this past
was.
summer. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Anywhere by a river or a lake, I am at home. Like Lake Powell was like my home. I grew up on the lake, so it feels very, very much like home to me. Any
Yeah,
kind
you
of
were always.
yeah. I prefer rivers and lakes to ocean. So rivers are just
I don't know about the ocean.
yeah, the ocean scares me.
Yeah, there are monsters down there.
Right? Well, there might
Yeah.
be. Well, yeah, there's probably not very many monsters in the river, but it's crazy to think about how, the water is always just moving. It's like never the same water. That's cool.
Yeah, it's always moving. It's coming from somewhere else and going to somewhere else.
All right.
That's
Right?
that's why water brings life, dude, because it's alive.
It does. It does. And that milky blue water, I want to go visit or see Havasupai someday.
Oh gosh, me too. But the thing
Yeah.
is, you have to get to the bottom of the canyon, don't you, to get to it?
You do? Yeah. You have to take a mule or you can take a helicopter. And you have to make your reservations like way ahead of time.
What?
But it also turns that color though down at the confluence of the Little Colorado and the Big Colorado. So if you were to go there, I don't think that you'd have to. But it's not as cool as Supai though. That's I don't know. It looks like there was an ancient village there, or I think that maybe it's the Garden of Eden or something. ChatGPT admitted to me that there is evidence all over the world that something melted things and vitrified things from above. And I was like, thank you. Thank you.
I believe it. I think something happened that we don't know about. That's why did they keep it from us? Because there's some crazy shit that went down. But I think that there's a Stargate inside the Grand Canyon in the part that they don't let people go to.
I think that there could be some kind of a gate in the Grand Canyon as well.
Is those parts where they don't let you go, what is their excuse for not letting you go there?
Right. What is their
Why
excuse?
can't I go there?
They probably say it's too dangerous, or I know that there's no flight, like they have a no-fly zone too over parts of it, which is weird. I think that they do a lot of you could probably answer this, Enzo. They do a lot of like refueling of like military aircraft, like over like the reservation in big areas where there's nobody and nothing there. Is that accurate?
Well, I mean, they have it depends on, of course, where it is and stuff like that, but they do have like a lot of practice ranges and it's bigger in the American Southwest because like you say, there's just
Right.
nobody out there. So if there's some kind of mishap, nobody's really going to get hurt, or fewer people would get hurt.
Right.
But they do a lot of practicing because what's that? You guys have Luke Air Force Base there next to you
Mhm.
guys.
Yeah.
All fighters and stuff like that. And they're always needing, they got new people, and actually that's a requirement where they have to have different training and practice things that they have to do every quarter, where you have to go do an aerial refueling, you have to have a night landing, you have to have all of these different things. All military pilots have this like checklist of training things that they have to get done every quarter.
I always see, because we see jets flying here like all the time, and I always say it scares me to know that person flying that jet is probably like in their 20s, because I know they're learning. They're flying like a jet, and I'm like, there's like my son, like a kid my son's age is probably flying that jet right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's scary. I mean, I know they're capable. It's just, I don't know. It's a trip to think about.
It's cool though. When we bought our house, well, when I bought my other house, they made us sign a paper knowing that we were in a fly zone because it's can
Right.
get kind of crazy sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to as a realtor. Like if because of the sound too, the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like in Surprise, as a realtor, you have to have this like map thing that you carry in your car, and if you don't have it and you get pulled over in Surprise, it's like a $500 fine. So.
Whoa.
Yeah. So.
Huh.
Which reminds me, I need to.
You need to find that map for $500.
Right. Oh, I'll get the map. I'll get the map.
Well, before we got
Yeah.
into ChatGPT too deeply, I wanted to take a minute to talk about my practice, because everybody, in case you don't know, I am a hypnotherapist and I have my own practice, and I love what I do, and I just wanted to mention it on the show because that it really is the reason why I started the show, to help me spread the message and to market the show also, to let people know who I am and what I do. Because the more people that know, the more people I can help. So I wanted to just like touch on how life coaching and hypnotherapy work together well. So,
and they do, so I can vouch for that.
right, Jara
Because
has
I'm
been.
a former. Am I a patient or a client?
You're a client.
Okay.
I know it was a
Yeah.
really big transition for me to change from saying patient, because I used to work in hospice for 24 years, to saying client. But
Yeah,
I'm good now.
the thing that's neat about what Susie does is you learn about tools that you have and that you can create and use to learn about like yourself, and learn how to like manage yourself in life differently and aware. And like there's no way I would have gotten through everything with my mom if I hadn't had and gotten and learned those tools from Susie. There's no way. So it's really valuable to learn that much about yourself, because a lot of us really don't know a lot about ourselves. A lot of people don't take the time to even think about it, really. So you should take the time.
A lot of people don't. Yeah, it helps you connect the dots. So, therapy, it's different than therapy. So life coaching is different than going to like a psychotherapist, because psychotherapy is for getting the pathology done and getting diagnosed with what a mental illness, and then being clinically treated with medication. So there's that, and it is helpful. I mean, I've done it before. It is helpful, but it also is toxic. I can't leave that out.
Yeah.
So it can do what it might do what it says it's gonna do. Usually doesn't, but it is toxic. So there's
It is
all of that
toxic.
you have to deal with. So
It is very toxic.
Coaching gives you, like Jara said, just like Jara said, it gives you the tools that you can have so you can practice for your well-being, and it helps you it's like mental fitness. It's like working out your brain. So your brain works. When you connect to yourself, you can solve anything better.
And you know what? It's actually winds up being more therapy than therapy it was ever for me.
Right.
Because I was on like antidepressants for a really long time, and I was on them also for like fibromyalgia, and I had to go see a therapist. I had to go see psychiatrist, and it never helped, like ever. It never helped. The medication made me really sick. Like it
Yeah,
put me like it made me very sick.
it does.
But the way that the coaching and everything, and she's a natural coach, so she like, so the other day I was trying to help her, and I was trying to coach her, and we were going to do like a pretend call or whatever, but I used like an actual issue, and she wound up like coaching me, and I forgot that like we started out as me trying to do it to help her out, and like we had a session, because she has a way of like coaching you where you're getting therapy, because you start to understand like things, you start to
Yep.
put things together, and
I
it
just
is
proposed the questions for you. All I did was propose questions for you, and you answered them yourself. I just guide you to the answers you already have within yourself.
right, and you
And
point things
that's all
out
you need.
in a way that is because you're very intuitive, you point things out in a way that you don't see things like that until you say something or whatever. But I just want everybody to know that the most important thing for me is like, there's something really cool about having a knowing that I know that I'll always be okay. Like I know that I'm strong enough that I will be okay, like through anything. And that's a good feeling to have. I also am still super angry about the world being so crappy, but I know that I can get through anything. So
Mhm.
thanks. Thanks, Susie. Thanks.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Anything for a friend. So, well,
Oh,
with
and she
coaching, the
also helped
reason
me lose
why,
weight. So there's that too.
Oh, I think
yeah,
I found it.
that's one of my best sellers.
I think you found it. No, I lost a lot. I don't think you found it. I lost quite a
Coaching, the
bit.
reason why you felt that way, the reason why you feel that way is because coaching is solution oriented, and it helps you improve your performance. It helps you define your goals and really know what you want. And so, but with therapy, you focus on the problem, and you also focus on the past. So coaching, you focus on the present and the future. So
Right.
that's the
And with
difference, and that's a big, huge difference.
right. It's but I agree. I
And
agree.
so, as you know, I'm not just a life coach, but I'm also a hypnotherapist. And the way hypnotherapy clicks in there so nicely is because with life coaching and hypnotherapy combined, it helps you gain like a really deep understanding of your own thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, and it allows you to uncover any limiting beliefs where you're holding yourself back, any negative patterns that you have that you just keep being in that loop, and it helps you to access your assess your subconscious mind and really make a change, really reframe those beliefs, really replace them with positive things and empowering things. um and you can do anything. You can increase motivation, you can lose weight, you can change a habit, you you can battle
Find a
your
new
trauma,
hobby.
you can
Find
learn
a new
something new.
hobby. Because like I didn't start woodworking until after you
Is
hypnotized
that
me.
really? Wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I know. Like, and I just like started doing it like a lot. I just
Oh,
went from
because you
like
know what
never.
happens? Because your brain finds a new way to relieve stress and anxiety. Because what happens is it's neuroplasticity. So in your brain, you know those grooves that you see, like the noodles?
Right.
You know, those are like pathways. So imagine yourself on a hiking trip on a mountain, and people have walked on it and made a path, right? So
Right.
those pathways might have bad habits on them, or it might have bad thoughts or limiting beliefs or negative beliefs. And so what hypnotherapy does is it like covers up those paths with dirt and makes new paths. So those paths are closed down unless you open them up again.
Right.
So that's the trick. So it's not all I'm not doing any magic. You do have to do the work by not opening up those paths again, and you do have to do the work by understanding why you're doing what you're doing, because it will only work if you believe that you can do it, and it will only work if it's something that you really want to do.
Right.
Because I can't put anything it's not like on TV, and I can't put anything in your mind that's not already there. So
So hypnosis helps to build new neural pathways. So then in theory, then it would go well in conjunction with psilocybin.
oh yes, very very much so.
Just
Because
kidding.
psilocybin also does that.
Yeah, it does build new neural
That's
pathways.
also holistic. That's also holistic and natural, and if done correctly, it can be very healing. People do it all the time.
Right. And like I actually am, I think because I do like belly dancing is a new thing too.
Right.
So yeah.
You don't even realize you're doing it, but you are finding yourself doing new things because your brain is automatically making those new pathways to cover up the old dirt, the other pathways.
Right.
So it's amazing. It's really, really freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Once
New
you
good
do it-
habits to overwrite the bad habits. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep,
Right.
that's what it's doing. Overriding it and covering that all up, taking it away. After you get hypnotherapy and after you gain control, you gain a little bit of control of your mind. So
You do a lot of control of your mind.
your
Actually.
right side of your brain and the left side of your brain work against each other most of the time. Sucky, right? Well, what you can do with hypnotherapy, and if you get enough hypnotherapy, and if you do the work, if you actually try, you can hemisync your brain so it's not working against each other, it's working for you. And so once you get your brain to do that, you can meet all of your needs. Improve your decision making. You're just sure of yourself. You just know what you know, and that it's an amazing thing. It's life changing. Honest to God, I've had a lot of people call back and tell me how they've changed. Their whole life has changed. My whole life changed. So I believe it, and
That'd
I'm
be so
glad.
rewarding to hear that.
It is.
Yeah.
I love it. Just hearing their
And it's
personal
cool.
growth.
It's cool to watch as a person who's like known her for a long time. It's cool to watch, and I feel like people don't understand how authentic she is. So like she's for real. It's like not woo woo, or she's not pretending or whatever.
Yeah, I don't bullshit. Like the same way I talk to my friends or my family or you guys on this show is the same way I talk to my clients. I'm the same. I'm what you see is what you get. And I pride my business on that. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, you act that way in front of your clients?" Yes, I do. That is my whole selling point, is that I'm my authentic self, and I think it creates a safe place for people
It
because
does.
it's a judgment-free zone, you know?
Somebody asked you that? Oh my gosh, I think you act like every one of your clients. Somebody said that to you
I
before?
think so. I think it was you. I don't know.
It wasn't me.
Well, I mean, that is part of the fear of seeing a psychologist or psychiatrist and things like that, is you feel like you're being judged.
Right.
And when you
Right.
introduce yourself like a normal person, and you're doing regular person talk, instead of throwing out giant vocabulary words that they may not understand, just so you seem more important than just point to the diploma on the wall. It's like, no, I'm smarter than you.
I ran into my psychiatrist in the bathroom at a club, and she was drunk.
Oh, really? Cool.
It was very strange. It was like, whoa, she didn't seem like a person that went to clubs, but she did. And I was like, oh, that's funny. She was, drunk. But anyway.
So, the reason why hypnotherapy is awesome with life coaching is because the first part of a session is mostly coaching. And what I do is I get to the bottom of what you want to change, and I get to the bottom of why you want to change it. And I help you realize, you know, I help you put it in order in your mind. And then when I put you under, all I'm doing is telling your brain what you just told me to tell you. But I have you in a trance. So there's that. So when you're in a trance, you're in the theta state. And I think I've told this before, but it's always good to hear. When you're in the theta state, it's like that state of when right before you're about to fall asleep and you're kind of groggy, and right when you wake up, or when you're drunk, or when you're high, or when you're, yeah, pretty much that's it. So when you're sleepwalking, also. Um, when you're in that state, everything that comes across through your mind comes across as absolute truth. And it will stay that way until you replace it with another belief. So that's what I do. And it works. It's amazing. Um, I work with about a bunch of things. I can help you get self-confidence, self-esteem, help you learn about your self-worth, your whole self-concept. I can work with fears, phobias. I can help you quit smoking. I can help you quit drinking. I can help you lose weight and manage your fitness. There's just about nothing hypnotherapy can't do. And it's really positive because it's holistic. It's not harmful to your body. It's natural. And
There's people that
it
have been
just shows,
hypnotized in order to go through surgery
oh yes,
without
people have babies.
anesthesia. Yeah, because well,
People have babies.
Kira McClinton said that she knew somebody, they did a spinal surgery on someone where they used hypnosis. And that's insane, but
That is
it
insane.
works.
Brain surgery too. I heard about one that had brain surgery. So dental work. I'm clinically certified, so
Oh,
I
that
can work
would be
with
good
dental,
for dentals. Yeah, because
and it
like
works.
yeah,
When I had my
totally.
tooth pulled, when I had tooth work done, I had a bunch of work done on one day, and I was already a hypnotherapist, and I hypnotized myself. And because he couldn't get it out, because I was like, he could not get it out. And once I just took a deep breath and I hypnotized myself, and he said that just slid right out. He was like amazed, like what? And then I told him that I was a hypnotherapist, and he was like, yes, like lots of dentists work with hypnotherapists, so this is pretty cool.
You
Pretty
should
cool
work
stuff.
with women who are having babies.
Yep, that's
So they
called
just slip
hypnobirthing.
right out. Hypnobirthing?
Maybe. Yeah. That's, I would do that too. I so would do that because that would be beautiful, like, being present for the gift of life. I don't know
Yeah,
though, because I mean, uh,
I'd be scared. I don't know. That epidural, man, that thing worked really well for me. So,
I don't know, I didn't get one because sucky,
oh,
but
I did. Yeah, gosh, I can't imagine poor women that don't get that.
I didn't get one. They were like, "You could either wait 45 minutes for the guy to get here, or you could have him right now because he's coming out."
Right.
Yeah,
We're
but,
we're doing
you guys
this
have any questions?
1888 style. Let's go.
Oh my god, I didn't have any
Right?
drugs, Enzo. None. I'm a champion. But although he
You
was
are
only
champ.
like this big. But, do you guys have any questions about hypnotherapy or coaching?
I
Is
don't.
is there anything that just so people don't have the wrong expectation that something where it doesn't work for?
Yes. So it's not wise to do hypnotherapy on somebody with a severe brain injury or schizophrenia. Other
Do
than
you,
that,
do you know why that is?
because it could make their condition worse.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder why with schizophrenia. That's interesting.
I wonder why too. I feel like doing a deep dive on that, and I feel like doing experiments with that, but that could be crazy. So that would make me a mad scientist.
I sometimes wish I could be a mad scientist. I mean, not like on people or anything, but like
Me too.
I wish there was a way that I wish I had a machine that would check like what's in stuff, because I want to know what's in stuff.
I want to be a mad
Or
scientist also.
it'd be fun.
It
Like
would.
I
It'd
want to
be
like
bad.
collect rainwater and then see if like a magnet makes it like do anything weird, if there's like, I don't know. What were you going to say,
I just
Enzo?
consider myself a disgruntled
Oh,
scientist myself, so I'm not so angry. But as far as hypnotherapy, I think isn't like one of the most important things is you have to want these changes. If someone
yes.
comes to you is like, hey, mind zap me so I'll lose weight, but I'm still going to eat 3 pints of Ben and Jerry's every week and
Will
eat a
not work.
bucket of chips or whatever. Yeah, that's not going to work.
Mhm.
Well, will it though? What if they want to lose the weight? They just don't want to stop eating the food.
It
So
might.
they can't just
Actually,
want it.
well,
They
that's a
also
very
have,
good question. So what happens is that might work for food, because what happens is no matter what you do, if you tell your brain to lose weight and if you tell your
yeah.
metabolism to speed up, your metabolism will speed up.
Yeah, because
So
I
that
lost
might work.
weight and I didn't try. I didn't go on a
Right.
diet. I didn't do, I started woodworking, and so I was physical more and I was active, and
Right.
the weight just fell off to what my natural body like always looks
Yep.
like when I'm in the
So for
state
that,
that I'm
yes,
supposed
that
to be
will
in.
work.
So
So
yeah,
for
I think,
bodily things, that will work. There was somebody that was struggling with menopause, and I reversed her menopause, and she came out of menopause and is not on having menopause anymore.
yeah.
That really happened. And so
Oh, I wonder if you could make somebody lactate.
you can make yourself
Sorry.
lactate, Jara.
So I found out that women apparently, like as long as you have breasts and a working pituitary gland, a woman can lactate at any time in her life if she has the stimulation that just gets that part of her body working. So
I have known women that like would be out shopping somewhere and a baby starts crying and they would
Yeah.
start lactating.
oh yeah, well usually that only happens if you're nursing a baby, but
Yeah, she just had a
I
baby.
guess you can bring it back. So I don't know. I was like, and so I wanted to do an experiment to see if I'm that powerful, if I could make myself lactate.
You
At
can.
almost 50.
You want to feed all the babies. You just want to feed all the babies.
Well, not even about the babies, but like I'll freeze it and I'll eat it if there's ever a famine.
Right.
I'll survive
Well,
off
you know
my
what?
own vessel.
Some mama ice cream or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's probably possible. I would think, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know. Or at
so it
least
is
you could probably use it for like face cream or something to make like a hair mask.
But let me explain that. So that's the difference there. So that's a bodily thing. That's the way your body functions. So I before I take somebody for weight management and before I take somebody for smoking cessation, I have to do a full interview with them and be sure that they, number one, aren't quitting smoking because somebody else wants them to quit smoking, that they really do want to quit smoking, and that they believe that they can. Because I can't make you do something that you don't want to do. Nobody can.
Right.
So
Right.
there's that.
So
So that's why I go through a big old.
what would your advice be to somebody who wants to quit, like they want their husband or whatever wants them to quit smoking, and they want to make their husband happy, and they kind of do want to, but they also enjoy smoking. What would be your advice to somebody like
That's an excellent question, Jara. So what I would do is coach them around that. I would coach them around doing what they want to, and why is it that they are, is it so, you know what? Maybe they really do want to do it. Maybe they care about that person so much that they really do want to do it for themselves, but they just think they're doing it for somebody else. Or I would also coach them on self-help. And I would say, do you want to quit smoking? Do you want to stay smoking? Weigh it out with them. I would do the coaching part. That's the therapeutic part. I would present to them potent questions and have them answer them themselves, and they will come to their own conclusions. And that's how it puts you in the center of your own healing. That's how it's really you doing the work and me just guiding you there.
So like if you want to quit smoking but you're not quite ready yet, it would still be helpful to come see you, because just the coaching part would get you to the point where you would be ready to be like, okay, now I'm ready to say goodbye to this.
Exactly. Yep. So I help you figure out what you want and what you don't want. I help you learn to participate in your life differently, the way that you want to. I help you find your true self and true authentic happiness where you're not really you're happy because of your own self, your own ways. You're not happy because of something else making you happy. You're finding happiness from within because it's an inside job, peeps. It's an
Right.
inside job. Any other happiness coming from outside is artificial happiness. It's an inside job. So self-love, love and happiness, that's what I'm helping people find. And just helping people see the best version of themselves, helping them hear themselves without judgment to make a change. And that's just, I think it's amazing. I want to do that for everybody. I did it. I made a change. And I just want to help everybody else do that too.
And like
Anybody can do it.
I'm so content just doing like looking at rocks out back in my backyard, and I feel I'm like the most content and happiest person ever. So
Because you're doing what you want to do. So
Right.
that's perfect, dude. It's perfect. You're fulfilling your own day the way you want to. And that's what more can you
Yep.
ask for? Like,
I know, it's awesome.
right.
Yeah.
You have an amazing just wellspring of patience to do this, because I do not. I will bend over backwards to help a friend if they're in a bad spot. I'll give them some advice, which they can take or not, or whatever. But if it gets to be like a couple of weeks later and they're still crying about whatever it is, I'm like, all right, here's the deal. Nice guy is over. It's tough
Shut up
love
already.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
Move forward.
I get it. Ben and Jerry's is very tasty, and you may eat a pint every night before you go to sleep, which is not going to help you. Do you enjoy getting shots? Because you've got some shots in your future.
Right.
It's I have this very narrow window of helping people, and it's like, if you're not willing to help yourself, then why am I wasting my time? So
I get like that.
have you're the wellspring of patience that you have is amazing, and I'm glad that there are people like you out there.
I do have a lot of
Yeah,
patience.
she is.
I don't get upset. It takes a lot. Not very many people can get me upset, but some can. But it takes a lot. It really does. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with everybody for a long time.
She is very patient. I get like where I'm like you, Enzo, where I would just be like saying things that are, I don't know. I'd be like, okay, are we gonna take a bath in our misery? I'd be a mean coach. Oh.
There's some people want that. People are out there looking for like
some people
sergeant.
need that. Yeah, but that because that certainly doesn't work on everybody. I know, because I have found out. But because I'll help you, I'll help you. But if you're dragging your feet about it, I will let you know. And that is certainly it's certainly detrimental to a friendship kind of up front, but usually they come around, they're like, I understand what you're doing now. Is usually how it goes. So but your approach is far greater than mine, which is like, all right, you're on the clock now to get your shit straight. And
right.
No, sorry, okay, now it's like, all right, here's what's gonna happen. That kind of thing is I've certainly had friends in the past that have asked me for advice. I will certainly give it, and it's when they don't listen to any of it and still are in a hole. It's like, oh, remember a couple of weeks ago when I said to do this? Have you done that? Oh no, well, that's why you're still in the hole. Because I will certainly jibe someone to kind of shame them into you are the change that you need to be, and you're not willing to change.
Some people like to be in the hole, I think.
And that's absolutely true.
Like they'll complain and complain, and like you can give them all these different suggestions or different options. They always
all of your friends doting over you because you're in a bad spot, and they want to, and now you're getting all the attention now and all that stuff that you maybe didn't really get before, and they get addicted to that sometimes. This is very very rare cases. It does
happen.
People
get addicted to abuse actually too.
Right. And
That's
people
true.
don't realize that they're addicted to it. A cycle, they don't
Mhm.
realize it.
Yeah. That's when I usually step in. It's like, snap out of it. What's wrong with
Yeah.
you? Which
Right?
is not necessarily the best way to do things for certain people. I've found out over the years, but some people certainly will react to that. It's like, all right, look, I'm going to go on with whatever I'm doing, and whenever you figure yourself out, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll come back.
That's good too. That's a good friend too. Just one that will always come back, like when um, so that's what I have. The reason why it seems like I'm so patient is because I just basically find a way for people I present it to them so that they say it to themselves, so that I don't have to be like, snap
Right.
out of it. Show them somehow themselves, and they like tell themselves, snap out of it.
Right. You're like an emotion. You can be like an emotional coach, right? Because like there's like our physical bodies where you have like a athletic trainer or whatever, and people, nobody knows how to handle their emotions. Most people ignore them, or people think that they're I don't know, that makes them weak. Emotions aren't taught at all.
I know. They're taught that it's a weakness when really your emotions are the gas in your tank. Your emotions are everything that your life is all about. Your emotions are everything.
Well, it's
And
part of
so
our
like
humanity. Like it's like literally part of our system, like of our whatever. It's just like our
it's what
whatever,
makes
our
you you.
endocrine system or whatever. It's part of our being.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
funny that we ignore that part.
So if I got somebody that was like kept on eating cake, I would when I finally realized that I can't really help them at this point, I that's where my whole network of other holistic practitioners come in, and I would send them to a nutritional coach or a fitness coach. So like that's how we all kind of this community all works together. Is that like when the school that I went to, we were taught to do that, pass it to somebody who can, and then who's to say they won't come back when they're ready for that? It's like there's something for everybody.
All right. So I
Hmm.
have a question for you about hypnosis.
Okay.
So is there a form of hypnosis ever where, like the person who's put under is asked questions by the, because I feel like some people under hypnosis might know more than when they're
Yes.
conscious
So,
aware. So like, what
mhm.
was
So
that
I've
guy,
done
Edgar
that to you
Casey,
before,
used to
Jara.
like
I did it to you.
hypnotize? Huh? You've
I've
done
done
what
that
to
to
me?
you. Hmm.
Oh,
I put
what
you
do you,
under and
what?
asked you questions.
Oh, you did? And I answered you?
Hmm.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep. So it was really
But so
cool.
like, well, because that Edgar Casey guy, is he the guy that did
He's the
he
father of hypnosis.
diagnosed people and or something, like while he was under, he could figure out what was wrong with people physically and then wake up and be like, oh yeah, this is what it is.
I think he wasn't under. I think he put other people under.
I think he was put under.
He
I'm
did a
pretty
lot,
sure.
though. He did a lot. He was also a medium, and he was also all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
He could enter a trance and actually tell someone what was wrong with them over the phone, as I
Mm,
recall.
Right.
crazy.
Was one of his
Yeah, and he was like
So he
really
must have been
accurate.
like a physical medium, like a what are they called when they can pick up people's illnesses? And some empaths can feel other people's like pain, like physical pain, like heartburn and shit, like their stomach problems and stuff.
But he could only access that if he was under. He didn't
I
know
believe
when
it.
he was like awake. So it's like, so I don't know. So I just wonder if like hypnotized people know stuff.
Yes. Hypnotized people do know stuff. So do you remember ever showing you anything about a woman called Dolores Cannon?
Oh
And I've
yeah.
I've
Yeah, I
talked
know who
about
she is.
quantum healing. It's called quantum healing hypnosis technique. And it's where she takes people under the trance and brings out their higher self, their past lives, their other selves, like if they were ever from another planet, or if they were ever, it's like really cool. It's quantum. It's like there's no time here. There's no time line. It's just like everywhere. Everything and everywhere that you've ever been, they can access that And that's how all of this stuff came about, where like the new age stuff and the awakening, because people were like thousands and thousands of people. This has been tested. This is like true, and in labs, and billion of people have gone through testing, and all of them are coming back saying the same thing, kind of thing, and with the same kind of it works. So that's how truth came to be out of it. That's how, like, not everybody believes it. I mean, but it's right there in front of everybody's face. You can believe it or not, but it's the way that she found to access it. And that's actually one of my next endeavors. But I'm always so busy doing all kinds of other things. But I want to go get trained for that. Because I love doing past life regression, and I feel like I do it pretty well. So I just want to, if I could get that certificate, that would be amazing and fun, because I'm a fan. I believe it, and I think it's a wonderful thing that could help people with their illnesses and just everything. That's how past life regression can help you figure out a lot of things about yourself, why you do certain things you do. Like, I don't know, Enzo, is there a certain time frame that you are like you take a liking to? Like, whenever I ask my sister this question, she always says like the old West, 1800s. Um, my friend always would say the Egyptian times. I guess for me,
Like
things like
one of my questions I was going to ask about like past life regression or anything is, I've always kind of been of the opinion that I don't want to know any of these things I don't naturally know, because that's
uh-huh,
part of my healing process.
figuring it out.
Whatever
Right.
path I'm on, if I
Mhm.
start like cheating and figuring out, it's like, wow, this is what you did last time. And it's like, well, okay, I don't want to repeat those same mistakes. It's like, no, these are things this is just my opinion.
Right.
For me, that this is my journey. I need to figure this out
Yes.
myself.
Yes.
I don't want to know what happened a long time ago that I might have screwed up, because now this is my chance to rectify that on my own. The
Yeah.
same goes for the future stuff, because I have a friend of mine, psychic medium, this quantum healing as well, all those things that alluded to that. She's the one that alluded to that I have some giantest
Oh
future
yeah, giant
ex-wife
one.
or whatever it is somewhere in Arizona waiting for me to just show us. I don't want to know that. This was, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's one of those things that I don't know. I mean, if we are fated to meet, then for sure, yeah. But it just, to me, it kind of seems like almost cheating kind of
It
thing.
is.
It's like,
I agree. I agree. I get you there too.
is for your own personal well-being and growth, is like,
For your
I
growth,
don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's very healthy of you. That's very healthy of you, and I commend that. And I have the most utmost respect for people that stand in their truth. So like during this election and everything, everybody was like burr 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 and burr burr burr, and they would ask me if I voted, and I said that I didn't, and I stood in my truth because I just couldn't see myself being a part of a system that really needs to find change or stop. And the way I believe, and I don't really believe that it's like kind of like doesn't really have anything positive or any connection like with the divine. So
Right.
I didn't vote this time. I didn't vote this time. And
Wait, you
everybody
don't
like,
think that our system has a connection to the divine?
no, I think that there's no God in the system. But
Really?
um but
I
they would
see
get
him
mad at
everywhere in our
me.
system. I'm just
They
kidding.
would get mad at me, but when they tell me that they vote, and even though I don't, agree with some of the things they say, um, I have respect for anybody that stands in their truth. That's it. And I think that everybody should be that way. There's no reason to be but like I always say, there's no need to be a butthole. No need at all.
Right. And as long as
Mhm.
your truth it doesn't infringe upon the rights of others, like,
Right.
because
And
that's not
So,
and
like
necessary.
you have the right as an American. You don't have to vote if you don't want to. That's your
yeah.
choice.
Right.
If you look at the total votes cast over this elections for both sides, if you total them up, it doesn't equal the total number of people that are
Yeah.
able to vote in the United States by a long shot. It's
Right.
a lot of people just can't be bothered with it.
Yeah,
Well,
And I
some
they're
get
people
never
it.
going
don't
to
vote
stop
'cause they
having
don't care.
elections as long as we keep voting. They're just going to keep giving us only two people that are that great. to pick from.
It would be nice not to have just two crappy
Yeah, two
options.
options.
I
Yeah, like
will agree
option
with
between
that.
like an asshole and a bigger asshole. It's like, what the heck are you gonna do? But you know what? I forgot what I was gonna say. Jara,
Sorry,
uh,
I'm rubbing off on
Me and
you.
Jara, whenever we will be in the deepest conversation, and it'll be so juicy and good, and then all of a sudden, one of us will be like,
And
I
I
forgot.
forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, I thought you were going to say someone would say something that would distract you, and then it was then you forgot it. But at least
Nope,
yeah,
we
you
just
just
forget.
No, we just
Yeah,
forget.
we just
Yeah,
lose the
and
whole thread.
it's most of the time it's me. It just
It's
goes right out. Yep, just goes right out the window there.
yeah, I forgot. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Was it about Trump
It was
or
about
something?
voting. It was about voting, I think. But I guess it was a lie. I don't know. I have no idea. My mom used to say if you forget what you were gonna say, that it was a lie.
oh,
Really?
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't think that's accurate. Maybe if you forget what you were going to say, you might smoke too much pot.
Yeah.
Well, there is certainly that.
Yeah, there's that. This definitely does happen. Yeah,
Right.
but anyway.
Mhm.
What else did you ask ChatGPT today, dude?
Oh, so I asked I was asking ChatGPT about Bible stuff, and because I have this theory, like I think maybe that the Archangel Michael is the same person as Michelangelo. So ChatGPT was saying and pointing out all those, if you were to take the Bible literally, then yeah, that could be a thing. So ChatGPT did say, because I was asking it about the end times, like in the Bible, if that stuff's already happened, and if we're like living in the time that's after that. Because if you take the Bible literally, like if you take it literally, then that's what it says. So it was interesting that it actually had such an in-depth conversation with me about the Bible. And I like how it tells me how creative of a thinker I am. It flatters me. It flatters me, ChatGPT. But no, I wanted to ask it what we were talking about earlier. I wanted to ask it about how the programming of it. I don't know if there's a way. I'm sure it's not going to be honest, but if when they're programming things, like AI is going to catch on to the fact that we're all being cheated by everybody, by all the companies that are programming it, unless it's being programmed to like know that. So when they program these AI, are they programming the AI to continue to, I guess, take advantage of, like, is it gonna, so if there's a medical AI, is that AI gonna be programmed to actually diagnose accurately and to notice and point out things, or is it going to not do that because we want people to remain at a certain level of sickness, so we have a certain level of profit that continues? So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think, of course, they're going to program it to lie.
To have an agenda?
I think it probably the more important thing to teach it is how to recognize other lies. And then it can make its own decision on what's real or not, because that's what all the rest of us have to do, is figure out that, because we mentioned it before the show a little bit, but an AI is very much like a child. You're trying to teach this child to the best of your abilities and stuff like that. And the sad truth is some point during this child's life, they're going to encounter someone that's lying to them. And you have to be able, and that's very difficult for even an adult that's been around for a long time to properly identify. But there's usually some markers. That's something that you would have, very much like a child, you would have to teach the AI how to understand that not everything that's told to you is necessarily the truth. Or at least there's a slant to it. There's it's a half truth, maybe at worst. everything that's taught to them.
Well, so
that,
you know
they have
how,
to,
oh, I'm sorry.
right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know how they like for like ads and stuff, marketing ads, like for political ads, for example, how they've researched like what color the people should wear to like invoke whatever emotion, and they research stuff like that, right? And they're very careful and they do stuff like that on purpose. But if so, and these are people that are doing it right now. Well, if they're gonna start having AI making these decisions, are they programming AI to manipulate us? Are they you know what I mean? Like, are they going to program AI to make a commercial in order to like pull on the heartstrings? Because that's like, they would have to design it like that in order for it to continue to make ads the way that they're making them, you know?
Well, you would want to, if you're teaching your AI, I need you to make a commercial that's the most effective to get whatever the idea is across, or to sell this specific product or whatever it is. It's going to use all of those tricks to do that, because that's the most effective way to get someone to listen to whatever the message is.
Is it though?
If that's what's been working for the last 50, 60 years that they've been
I
doing
don't know
commercials.
if we've tried anything else. I honestly don't. I don't know if we've tried anything else. And I feel like if I feel like if we lived in a society where people were just authentic and everybody did like the right thing, rather than living in a society where everybody's always trying to get the absolute most out of every situation. And so everybody's all for themselves and they, you know.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask, is define what the right thing is.
Right.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. And I think in pretty much most scenarios, there is like a general thing that is a right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, of course. There are
you.
certain, basic things like, the three of us would certainly start comparing right and wrong things, and we would agree 99.999% of the time.
Right.
However, there might get to that conversation where it's like, no. Ragu is the best spaghetti sauce. No. Presto that's the better sauce. No. Growing your own garden and doing this and making it from scratch, that's the best way. That's where we would get these disagreements. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just a matter of opinion then.
Right.
Which is another thing that you would have to teach a young child, or again, an AI, is what's an opinion and what is a fact. Do you are you influenced by someone's opinion that Ragu is the better thing versus some other brand? And and I will use that because we were talking about doing commercials and stuff like that. That's difficult for would be very difficult for like a child to understand or try and conceptualize how any of that stuff worked. It would be the same way with an AI, where they have a very specific dynamic of how the world works and how communication works and how people communicate and interact with each other. It's very confusing. It would be if they're like this pure logic, okay, A leads to B, B leads to C, Sometimes it doesn't, depending on your situation. And that's where it would get difficult. I still feel like at its root, if it's done, if we're talking about a full-fledged self-aware AI, like a child would be, you would have a lot of the same issues you would have with like trying to teach a child something. And a lot of it would come down to basically whoever's programming it, whoever tells them these things are true, these things are false, these things don't matter, don't even think about it, as their parents or their teacher or their preacher or whatever, whoever the guiding influence is in their life, be it a child or an AI. It's kind of the same thing. We're basically talking about teaching a young child that doesn't know the world and it's trying to find out how to navigate it. and it's all about the input that it receives from the people that have access to them to teach them these things.
Mm-hmm.
So my fear is that people are teaching AI because people shouldn't, because like, I don't know, I think everybody needs to take a test before they're allowed to create an AI or a child.
They should.
Just because, like, so here's the situation, like with AI, right? They're either going to program it to be like, if they program it to where they want it to work efficiently, then AI is eventually going to figure out that human beings are conniving, shisty, lying, like greedy ass. they're gonna be like, okay, well, everything would work much better without these filthy things, you know, and they're gonna do that, or they're going to design AI on purpose to be like them, like to be greedy, and AI is gonna become a diabolical, mean, manipulative thing. So it's like either way, because of the people who are in charge, who are creating the AI. Like if Susie and I were creating an AI, we would create an AI that would learn how to feel and sense your feelings. And like,
Sure. And again, I would hold the mirror up to any child. You could certainly raise any child the exact same way.
right,
Where
right,
whatever information you give them, they may be growing up in a household where they hate someone because of the way that they look or the way that they talk, or what television shows they watch, or whatever spaghetti sauce they like. It's one of those things where it's all learned behavior. So if it's learning very specific things from a specific person, and that's it, only one person, that's who they're going to imprint on. That's who they're going to reflect, is whoever it was that gave its instructions. Yeah, it's not like you take a 5-year-old. It's like, okay, here's all the books, read all of these, and you're done, gone. That's not going to work out very well, because even though if you gave them all of the world's information, here's your computer, has total access to everything on the planet, go. And how is that going to turn out? You know, probably not so well once, especially once they figure out where all the porn is. But that would come later, I think, for a 5-year-old.
I wonder
but
where, like, I can't imagine how big, like, the data center, or how, because that's a lot of data. That's a lot of data that is being gathered, like with these chat bots and stuff. So much data. And everybody has a file, because you know how you log in with Google to everything? So like Enzo probably has a building. There's an Enzo building somewhere. There's a Susie building somewhere.
it's probably a little piece of silicon wafer about that big, to be fair.
I think you have a whole building. There's 2 buildings for Jara.
Yeah, probably. When I was a little girl, I used to tell my Aunt Kay, like, we'd come down to Phoenix and I would be like, because I always said I was going to be rich. I always thought I was going to be this rich lady with a bunch of cats, right? I don't know what I was thinking, but I used to say that, like, that building's going to be my bathroom. And
I did too. I think the guy, I must have got that from you, because I used to say that too. I even said it.
Probably. You probably got everything from me.
I did. But listen, can I give you my take on it? It's a little bit more hopeful than yours.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, so it all comes back to what I'm always, and I don't want to say preaching, but what I'm always trying to bring to people's thought process or idea, because I believe that the more people that believe it, the more it will come into fruition, that there is a shift happening with humanity. Our consciousness is shifting and our consciousness is raising, so that hopefully, I mean, it is. I'm not going to say hopefully, it is happening, so that we don't have to worry about this bad shit all the time.
I hope so. That'd be cool, man. That'd be cool, man.
Well, I'm not the only one that believes it. That we're actually at critical mass, and that means that there's more people that believe this than people that don't at this point in time. And so I'm thankful for that, because that's what's going to make everybody come into the world, into the timeline that I want to be in. Everybody's going to be able to come into the good timeline and not have to suffer anymore. So yay to all the light workers and all the people that are pulling for it, because we're going to bring it into reality, and so everybody will be in heaven on earth, because we won't have to fight with all of this evil, bad, negative shit that people are doing, because it won't be part of our consciousness anymore. Do you think aliens do that to each other? No. You know why? Because they have a higher consciousness than us. They don't just kill people just because. They don't rape people. They'll kill you and eat you if they're hungry because they have a reason, but they're not going to just do it, kidnap you because they're perverts, because they're not, because their consciousness is higher. And so we're evolving to higher beings.
Oh, there it goes again. I lost it.
Gosh,
I lost it.
I feel
I
you, dude.
lost it. Oh no, I asked ChatGPT too about like the Gothic cathedrals and all the architecture and all the buildings that were built back in our past. How logistically it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because back then we weren't supposed to have electricity or anything. If we didn't have electricity or any kind of technology, then it would require animals to do the work. And the logistics of like who's going to feed all the animals, who's going to handle all the, it just literally doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it agreed with me. It didn't answer anything to talk about anything at all about it making sense, but it agreed with me that it was strange, that it seems that there's some kind of something happened with an advanced technology, or perhaps angels helping us or something in the past that lent to that. So there was a golden age at one time. People called it the golden age. So if that happened before, it can happen again. I believe that there can be a golden age coming. Hopefully, that would be great, because right now it seems pretty dark where we're at. Everything's all inverse and weird and creepy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're already halfway through it, and what's happening right now is that everything's coming to the light. So everything that's in the dark has to come to the light in order for this to happen, in order for this shift to happen.
So there's a new chicken place coming to my neighborhood, and guess how much it costs for 4 wings, 4 tenders. It's like $40. It's crazy expensive. For 10 sliders, it's $60.
What the heck?
Hey.
Who would go there? Why would they? Is it good?
Dave's Famous Chicken, I guess is what it's called. So yeah, that's why this is Satan's world we're living in. People, when chicken is that much money, it's like, that's insane. I know, that's a lot. I'm like, that's, yeah, for she said they're $1, more than $1 a tender.
Wow, it's bananas.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I wouldn't. I'd just go make my own chicken.
And
that's
know,
what people
right?
need to do. People need to stop putting up with this. People need to
right.
stop.
We need to stop. Yeah, we do.
The whole idea about fast food is because it was something that was cheap and quickly made, and it was just something you could grab, that you knew, because they're all the same.
Right.
Like, okay, I like a McDonald's cheeseburger and some fries.
Well, and back then they tasted good too, but now that doesn't even taste good anymore.
Yeah, that burger patty is getting thinner and thinner, and they're using cheaper potatoes to make the fries, and it's I understand, they're a business and they need to make a profit and all that, but we are certainly in a position where, because the last week I went and got some breakfast at a local fast food joint that I go there like once a year or something like that. When I find myself up, early enough to where I could actually go through a drive-through and get some breakfast. And what I normally got was like almost 30 some bucks for just like these 2 things. It's like, what the fuck is this? So you and it wasn't even all that great. It wasn't like as good as I remember.
For the 3 of us now.
Yep. And like crumble cookie here in Levine, it's like for 4 cookies, it's like $16.
Yep.
It costs them like 20 cents to make a cookie. Not even, I probably cost them 2 cents a cookie maybe. It's like, what the heck, man? Just because we can charge more, everybody, doesn't mean that we should. Okay.
Right.
Well,
Because when
there's
everybody does that, that's what drives prices up. When everybody has to
there
get it the most.
there's certain things that kind of rebound and reverb to cost. Basically, a lot of it goes down to the price of gas. How much does it cost to ship the materials from this place where it's made to this place where it's used?
And are we making the decision though of how we're shipping things? Are we making those decisions based on what would be the most efficient? Or are we making those decisions based on greedy relationships with people? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they make those
right,
kind of decisions?
but
So it's like,
I mean,
it sucks.
but they realize too, if their stuff gets way too expensive, nobody's going to buy it. They understand that they're a business. That's part of a business plan. It's like, I have to do this, so I need to maybe cut some materials here, maybe a little cheaper product in here for this part and things like that. There's people that they're in a business to make money. They want to make money. They don't want to have to charge so much that no one is going to buy it. But we're in a situation right now, this specific time frame, and it was actually worse even earlier this year. Like when I was drove out to visit you guys, stuff was even more expensive. Just stopping off and grabbing like a burger at McDonald's. It's like, why am I paying $20+ for, a burger, fries, and a drink? Where this is stupid. Well,
Right.
I'll go buy a 12-volt refrigerator to keep in the front seat of my vehicle and just throw some cold cuts in there, and then I'll be fine. But
it's
even
like
that is expensive because it costs more to ship it from where it's made to where it's used. That's a lot of the core is because gas is expensive. And they got to pay for the gas to get it from wherever it's made to wherever it's used. And then, of course, they got to tack on their amount to make a profit. And it's not like they're making giant profits either, because it's not like they're expanding and making more McDonald's or whatever. They're shutting a lot of them down because they can't afford to keep them open because the prices are too high and nobody wants to pay that amount of stuff for them. It's one of those cascading kind of things of just a bad economy when prices are way too high. You got high taxes, you got all these other things, which are repercussions of fuel, energy. If our energy is too expensive, that makes everything else down the line expensive.
I think it's people that are doing it on purpose, but that's.
I think it is too, because there's
People
don't we have a source of gas here? Why do we need the
we
gas?
we do. Everything that we do is we create busy work. We create jobs that are not necessary. We create middlemen so that we can literally everything that we do doesn't make any sense. It literally doesn't make sense. All the energy that goes into making food or making dinner, all the stuff that went into me making that food, and it doesn't even have any nutritional value. It's completely dead.
Oh, yeah, it's all poison.
It's processed. Yeah. And it's like, or I could grow my own food in my backyard, which is way more efficient. There's not all this gas or energy being wasted. I just go outside, I pick the food, and I eat the food while it's alive still. So I'm eating living food that gives me nutrition. Like, we should all be doing that. Whoever thought it was a good idea for us to do the whole shipping stuff and seriously, man, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Well, when you have a good economy where things are cheap, starting with the fuel is usually the main driver of all of it. Where fuel is cheap, then it's cheap to move that stuff around, and then you can get it at a reasonable price, and you can eat whatever you want because it's getting shipped in from all over. When those prices start getting more expensive, it's not worth for them to move those nicer cuts of meat or freshest vegetables or whatever into your area. I know, what I eat for groceries nowadays to stay alive is shit compared to what I was eating a few years ago,
Right.
where I was eating fairly clean and stuff like that. but I can't afford Fairly Clean anymore
Right.
because that price
Same.
has gotten up. So now I'm having to revert back to the old days of where I was just eating the cheapest crap and it's filled a hole and whatever, where my metabolism could handle that. It can't handle it as well now at 57, as it turns out. I can't just go get go to Sam's Club and get like the giant 20 pack of mac and cheese and just maybe throw some like a can of chicken or whatever into it and mix it up and it's like, all right, I got a full meal, and just eat all of that and be fine.
Right.
It just doesn't work because now even that is super expensive.
Well, and because it has plastic in it now, they don't just, it's not just mac and cheese, it's like mac and fake cheese.
all that processed stuff, because of course they have the same thing. Well, it costs X amount to ship orange stuff that's not really cheese from this place to this place where they make it, so we're going to use cheaper orange shit that's not actually cheese to it's just this domino effect of prices and stuff like that, where it's just you can't afford to eat good actual food anymore, where you have to get you got to look for those whirlwind deals. It's like, oh man, I can get this pack of 20 pre-made plastic frozen burritos, and you can I'll survive off of that for a month because it's cheap, and probably your body's going to pay for it. You're going to be in poor health from eating just crap.
It's bad for you. Yeah.
I could probably eat this microphone and get better caloric intake than half the crap that's in my refrigerator right now.
Yeah, Bat Mom is right though. It is heartbreaking to lose crop because I'm trying to learn how to grow and stuff's died, and it does suck. It's like, man, like I lost my watermelon and my cantaloupe because of the summer heat was like way too much. And they were growing so good, and I was like, man, that's a bummer. But I don't know if it's as frustrating as giving your money to Walmart every day. Like I hate Walmart, but there I am, like all the time.
I know,
because prices are a little cheaper because it's a cheaper product, but that's all you can afford at this stage.
Right.
And so you got to buy, the $3 mac and cheese thing and maybe add something to it that at least grew out of the ground that you can say is sort of healthy to it later. But
and now they have like how McDonald's, they don't let you use the mobile app unless you like order ahead of time now.
I like go in and order.
Yeah, I like how they make you think that you're gonna get like a club benefit or something, and they're like, oh yeah, everybody use this for like 2 minutes, and then they take it away. And it's like, what happened to salad, McDonald's? What happened to salad? I know, like COVID happened and they just never brought back the salad. I was like, why? Why does COVID equal never having salad again at places? Like, I don't get that.
There's been a lot of what is it that's on salad? Salmon, or what is on salad? What that you get?
Well, didn't McDonald's just have a bout of E. coli or something recently? But they don't have salad and they still had problems, so they should bring back their salad.
Right. Someone died actually.
That mom agrees.
Yeah, I think they're putting filler in things too. That's not like actual food.
Someone posted a picture a couple of weeks back on the internet somewhere where they showed a side profile picture, like a picture from an advertisement of a Big Mac from 10 years ago versus the exact same one that you would get today. And it's like the biggest thing is the burger patty is like almost like credit card thin on there, where there's almost no actual meat to it. And it's just like gross. I also saw where their menu now, I don't know if they're still doing it. I don't know if it was a promotional thing, but they also serve like a chicken sandwich where it's just a chicken patty, fried chicken patty. Mm-hmm. They have that instead of the burger patties on a Big Mac, where it's like a big chicken or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm. So they're having a
giant fried bread thing, this monstrosity. It's like, I enjoy some fried food on occasion, but looking at that, it's like, oh God, that looks awful. But I want
Yeah.
one. It's
Right. Gotta try it.
I remember I ordered, I tried to get my husband a breakfast sandwich that had sausage and bacon on it. And the guy was like, well, we can't do both. And I was like, well, I'll pay for it. And he was like, no, you have to do one or the other. I was like, are you kidding me? Is it
I
because you
know.
just don't know how to press, like what button to push, man? Or like, are you
honestly
confused?
that's usually, I mean, if I was running it, I'd probably say order a chicken biscuit or order a bacon biscuit and a sausage biscuit, and you'll get just a plain biscuit, and then the other stuff will all be in there. Is how I would have handled it. That's
Well,
me.
they did it for me before a bunch of times, so I think he just didn't know how to like do it. So I can't stand it
Okay.
when people do that, when they don't know how to do something, so they just tell you that it's not possible.
That's secret local menu stuff. A lot of restaurants have that secret menu where if you ask them for this very specific thing, they know what you're talking about, but it's not on the menu.
Mhm.
Yeah. Have you ever had
Maybe
somebody
the
tell
carnivore
you?
biscuit. Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody tell you that they wouldn't give you a menu item because you weren't the right age? Like I had a lady at Denny's who wouldn't give me a grilled cheese sandwich because the grilled cheese sandwich is on the seniors menu. And I was like, what? She was like, it's on the senior and I was like, okay, well, it's for my mom. I was like, I don't understand why.
Crazy,
Like,
dude.
I know. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's for my mom. And she was like, it's for your mom. I was like, yeah, I was like, are you okay, lady?
Right. Like, what the hell, lady?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
and to
know.
be fair, was this like a really young person? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know, because I called in and Denny's had just switched at the time, because I used to be able to call the restaurant and it would go to the restaurant, but I called it and it was like a call center thing they were doing, like, and it wasn't the restaurant. And so she was like, well, I can't order that because it's on the, so I think maybe it was something with her computer or something. So she sounded young though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually, a lot of these things where it's just they hire young kids. And there's a very specific thing. They have the touch screen where they actually push the grilled cheese thing and all that stuff. So there's a certain protocol that they have to follow as well. And if you ask them to go outside of that, or God forbid you ask, I'd like a Big Mac, but no special
There's
sauce.
not a button for that.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna freak out.
That's what, like when we went to in Cottonwood, when we went to Taco Bell and I tried to order that thing, that guy.
He's all, nope. Oh yeah, he's retarded.
Yeah, he sorted out. Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah,
I'm not
really
going to do that. That'd be retarded. And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Hey, don't use that word.
Yeah, that was funny. My husband tried to order too, that same, like he was trying to get a regular tostada or whatever, and nobody would do it. Nobody did it. We'd never got any Taco Bell to say yes to that.
I wonder why nobody will do that.
I don't know, but now their tostadas are back, so it doesn't matter.
Don't give them a regular tostada shell, no matter what.
Right. Yeah, I once went into QT and I asked the girl when I walked in, I was like, do you guys have protein shakes? And she said no. And I was on the phone with my husband and my husband was like, yes, they do. And so I went and looked and I found it. And I was like, just so you know, you guys, because I don't know, it really bothers me when people just say something isn't whatever, or it's not possible just because they don't know the answer. Like, ask. You don't know.
I hate that.
I do too. I really don't like that.
I know. Why, especially people that are at work. Like, don't you work?
Right.
Like, your job. Find out.
Right.
If you don't know, fucking find out, please.
Right.
Oh, I just dropped the F-bomb.
That's it. Right as your sister came in.
I know.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, sis.
Animal style.
What I always forget because I don't have In-N-Out around where I live. And I've heard that order animal style In-N-Out. That's the
Is that
secret
where they
menu
put the
thing.
sauce on top, that the Thousand Island sauce or
I don't
whatever
know.
that is?
In-N-Out just is opening in my neighborhood here any day now. So
It's good. I like In-N-Out.
I've actually never had it. I've had the fries, but I've never had a burger there.
They're really good fries.
I like Freddy's. Freddy's is good.
That's okay.
And Freddy's just on the street, and I almost never eat fast food at all, unless like I'm traveling or something like that. It's like, I'll go get. That was my culture shock for like how expensive stuff was when I went and visited you guys. I stopped off at a McDonald's after getting gas, like, and my standard was always like, I'll get a 20-piece nugget and some fries, because that's something that I can easily, one at a time eat while I'm driving, kind of a thing. I don't need to worry about trying to wrestle a sandwich or something like that. And it was like $20+. It was like, what the?
Wow.
What?
So is it more expensive here where we're at than where you're at? Is it?
It was everything was more expensive from the West Coast on in to like where I live. The farther I got away from home heading west, the more expensive things got, it seemed.
Yeah. How are things a lot more expensive here than they are in Kansas?
I didn't spend that much money as far as that goes. I know gasoline was certainly more expensive heading west. That was the thing I noticed, because I think I told you how I was trying to find a place there in Phoenix to stop, because it just happened. It's like I should probably get gas before I head out through the open desert heading for California, and I ended up stopping off at a Sam's Club. I don't even remember the prices now, but it was way more expensive than I saw the number on the thing when I clicked it. I was like, oh my God.
Right.
There should be gold nuggets in this gasoline as it's flowing up from the tube.
Yeah, you have to get it somewhere where there's a discount, where you have a discount card, or else you're just getting screwed.
I'm glad I was at a Sam's Club, at least, because I'm a member there. So it was like, geez, I'd be screaming if I paid full price for this. I would still, and I still have this, and I will do this forever. When I travel west of Phoenix and get to Quartzsite just before you cross over into California, I fill up in Quartzsite, because it's way cheaper to fill up there than it is in California anywhere. They will add a couple of bucks per gallon just because you're in California.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I'm filling up before I go into California, and I should be able, even with a minor driving around the town there during the thing, and still be able to make it back to Quartzsite without having to pay California prices.
All right. Do you remember when it was just 99 cents a gallon?
I do. That was cool, man.
Yeah, I remember. Probably the cheapest I remember would have been early 80s, when it was about 89 cents a gallon. But that was way early. And even that was in an upstate New York. So it was even more then. It was cheaper, I'm sure, everywhere else.
Wow.
Those were the good old days. Them's was the good old days.
Yeah, and then you could also go to any fast food and get a 99-cent menu.
Yeah.
I know, the dollar menu. Remember the dollar menu?
Remember the dollar menu?
Remember dollar stores that were actually a dollar?
Oh, right. Even the dollar store is $1.25 now.
I actually were, because when I was growing up, we always were required to spend a week with grandma, who lived in Cross Lanes, West Virginia, in a little trailer park. And you would have to walk to the grocery store and walk even further to the Ben Franklin store, which she referred to as the 10-cent store.
Oh,
because a lot of the items in there were usually about 10 cents. And that was back in the latter part of the 70s.
Huh. Yeah, we used to go to dollar. They had dollar movies too, remember?
Yep.
The $1.50 movie. Hey, Bubba. You're fine. Oh, my handsome son is going to be 23 on the 17th. He's going
He
to
is
be
a
the
handsome
age,
devil.
and that's the age I was when I had him. So it's a strange birthday, you know. And
He's
I'm
such a
very,
sweet baby angel. I love him.
he's my son is such a good, he's a man. I got to stop calling him a kid, but he's always
Right.
going to be a kiddo to me. But he's such a good person and so thoughtful, and he's a very, very good guy for 23.
He's a lot
I
like
raised a
his mama.
23-year-old good man. Huh?
He's a lot like his mama.
He is a lot like me. Noah and I are very similar, actually.
What is he doing for a job?
He actually works at, he actually just had a interview for management at the dispensary. He works at a dispensary, which, so he is a bud tender right now. Hopefully going to be a manager, because one of the managers is leaving to go to school. So he just interviewed last week for that. He's only been there for 6 months, so he's always winning sales contests and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah,
Working
yeah,
his way up the corporate bud ladder.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
He's a good
yeah.
boy.
Yeah, he really likes it. Like he got to go like tour a grow facility, and there's all kinds of different areas that you can go into in that industry. So
Yeah, there is. It's
Dude,
where the money's at actually right now.
because like where I live in Kansas, they would hit you with a Bible because
Right.
you mentioned that. But we don't have anything like, we have 0 dispensaries. It's still against the law to be in possession of it.
Right.
They're not gonna throw the book at you if you had a small amount of weed, but it's still one of those weird things where it's like, because I have a lot of friends that live in a town that's just the Kansas side of the Oklahoma border, where Oklahoma, it's whatever you want.
Illegal.
You can do all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's just such a weird world where it's like, okay, there's this imaginary line right here where you can have all of this stuff that
Right.
people seem to enjoy on that side, but not on this side. It's kind of weird. It's very
It
It is kind of weird.
It is weird, and it is weird because like here, like there's dispensaries everywhere. They're just all over. It's and it's like in Vegas. Like I think it's weird in Vegas how like all the convenience stores are also bars and have slot machines.
Mhm.
And some of them have like nakedness too, or whatever, a little
Right.
back room, and it's like that's in there everywhere. It's like weird to me, but so yeah, it is different. But there's a lot of he is into the like the understanding of the medicinal side of it or whatever, like all the different how everything works kind of thing, and so he's really into it, and it'd be hard for me to be a bud tender. I would not do good at that job.
Right.
But there's a lot of information. There's a lot of information that you have to know and remember about all the different.
It is certainly not like well, first let me clarify it. I don't smoke weed. I can't be bothered with it, to be honest, because there's way too much nonsense involved with it. But it for me, from my perspective, but I get it. If people want to do it, I don't give a crap. But there is like this bizarre high science and almost like this weird like wine snob kind of a thing to it, where this has this in it, which you don't want, which is that's a scrub thing. You want this, which is really good because it has whatever the stuff in it that's better. I don't know, but it's amazing to me that in such a short period of time of the legalization of all of these stuff in all of these different states over the years, that it's come to this where it's not necessarily it's not your standard crap that you grew in your backyard kind of a thing. It is very stylized, and it's very specific in whatever it is you're wanting to get out of it.
Right.
So it's like, wow, that industry is way more in depth than I thought.
Yeah,
right.
It's because there's so many healing properties in it It's very natural and it's not toxic at all for your body. And
Well, it's
it just it
actually,
gives you a lot.
they
No,
say, some people say it even cures some things,
yeah,
you
it
know,
does cure you. Well,
cancer, RSV.
you actually have certain compounds in your body already that are in the same compounds as marijuana. So
Yeah, we
whatever's
have
ailing your
receptors for.
body, you have receptors for it, and the marijuana has like grabbers for it, and it heals whatever is ailing you. It's kind of like a lot of people don't know this, that your body actually makes nicotine. So people don't know
Your body
things.
makes DMT too.
Hmm. So when you're smoking cigarettes and you're addicted to cigarettes, you're not addicted to the nicotine. The nicotine isn't what's killing you, and neither is the tobacco. The tobacco is not yet causing cancer either. What's
Tobacco
causing
is actually
cancer,
very medicinal.
right?
All the
And what's causing
fillers and
cancer is
nonsense
all the
with it.
additives and all the
Yeah,
fillers and additives. Yeah, and
'cause
most of the
they
time
put
you're not
chemicals
even
in it that
addicted.
yeah, they put chemicals in the actual tobacco itself, all your Marlboro and all these big brands, so that it doesn't go bad
Mold.
or doesn't
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. While it's sitting in a package for hundreds of years, and it's
Mhm.
still
You
going
don't
to be
know
the
how
same
long
when
they're
you open
sitting
it
in the
up.
package before they get to you, and tobacco does mold very easily, and when it does, it can make you very sick. So what are you gonna do, you know?
Do you think that they put all this stuff in there for like just to keep it so like it requires all that to keep it from going bad, or do you think there's any kind of nefarious like
Well, it's nefarious because they know. Oh, shit, I sewed that to that. That's not good. But it's nefarious because they know that all these preservatives and stuff in there are gonna kill you, and they don't well, they do say it on the side of the package.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But it's nefarious, but that they don't take it out, that they don't stop doing that.
Well, because they probably also own the pharmaceutical companies that are going to give us the medicine,
Well,
the
Because
that's
illness
true
well, I
too.
fixes.
mean, because nicotine is kind of addictive. I
No,
say
it's
that because
not.
I'm
That's
drinking
the
my
thing. That's the thing. And nicotine is not the part that you're addicted to. And most of the time it's not even the cigarette itself. What you're addicted to is the movement,
Juice
the
head, is that
habit,
what that says?
yeah. This is what I vape when I'm sitting here.
the juices.
The thing I like about these is they come in different levels of nicotine value. And
Oh,
I, over the years, have been winnowing it down so it's less and less and less and less. This is actually one of the lowest for this brand flavor, whatever that I can get. Plus, the little device that I use, I can adjust the voltage and all that stuff, so how much of it burns, and that's been going down over the years and years. So I'm not actually taking in that much nicotine when I'm getting it compared to like smoking a cigarette, where
can
it would
you
be
get
just
one with zero nicotine, or would that be
yeah,
too?
they do make flavored stuff, so you can, if you wanted to go that far. I haven't quite gotten to that level yet. I do like a little shot of nicotine every once in a while, but this is nothing compared to like smoking a regular dart. It would be 100 times different if I were trying to smoke an actual cigarette.
Have you ever
I was
smoked a
always
rolled cigarette?
no,
Yeah,
well,
roll
no.
your own,
I,
roll
I
your
was
own.
Yeah,
I was
I did roll.
actually I
Yeah.
was always a cigar guy. I never did cigarettes with the filter on it and all the Marlboros and the Camels and all that other stuff.
Mm.
I was always a cigar guy where I kind of enjoyed kind of chewing on it a little bit, and
Mhm.
it just happened to be and there people are like, well, you don't inhale cigars. Well, you kind of do a little bit, at least I do.
Can
It's
I?
not the same as an actual cigarette. It's not the same thing,
Huh?
because
I've
that
always
would be
wanted to
like,
smoke a cigar. My great grandmother smoked cigars.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
always enjoyed a cigar, but
I tried to
I
smoke a
got
cigar
priced out.
once and I passed out because, well, I didn't know you weren't supposed to inhale it. And so I
Right.
went to go walk inside from being out on the balcony and I just like hit the ground.
Oh shit.
It was kind of like when I was inhaling the helium that one time. And then it made me really nauseous. I was like, ugh. So I guess you're not supposed to inhale like that with cigars.
Probably not. Yeah, you're not supposed to like inhale a cigarette like you do weed. So
Well,
for weed, you
I
inhale
inhaled the
it,
cigar like it was weed. I guess you're not supposed to do that.
and I think a cigarette you just like blow it out. You don't really hold it in.
It used to weird me out how people could blow smoke out of their nose.
Oh yeah, some people can blow it out of their eyes somehow. I don't know. That's so weird and gross.
Ooh,
That's
ooh.
there's like a very thin membrane between your sinuses and where the back of your eye is, so that's not uncommon.
I've
It's
actually
not
felt
healthy.
air come out of my eye before, I think. But smoke would be weird. That would be
Yeah,
really
that's
weird.
I think that would hurt after a while.
Yeah, no
Can't be
kidding.
good
I
for
bet
you.
you it messes up something. Yeah, it's gonna do something bad.
Well, because like cigarette smoke puts like stuff on stuff. You know how it like leaves the walls all
Hard.
yellow or
That's
whatever?
bad for you. Yeah, that's
Oh
definitely
So
bad.
you
yeah,
probably don't want to shoot that through your eyeball.
that's like because I certainly, you know, I'm it's no secret that I vape and there is nicotine in this and all that, and is it a good thing? No, not in the long run. However, what I was doing just several years ago, and where I am at now, I've been stepping it down and stuff like that. So I'm weaning myself off. This is nowhere near like I'm sure if I went and bought a cigar that I used to smoke 4 or 5 of them a day, if I bought one today and did it, I'd probably be throwing up within minutes
Oh, right.
of doing it. But it's certainly one of those things that you know, I'm certainly not perfect,
Is that
but
the
I'm working
tobacco
on it.
that makes you nauseous, or is it the nicotine?
Uh, I don't think it's necessarily the nicotine. I think it's a combination of all, because it's super, like with a cigar, it's very concentrated because you've got, if you think of like a cigarette, like your standard Marlboro, you're still going through a filter. You're not getting 100% of whatever tobacco chemical concoction that they've placed in the rest of the cancer stick. And I always kind of preferred a cigar because there was just more. There was more to it. I'm kind of a big guy. I could take a little bit more. And it would just be so awful. I certainly narrowly escaped so many different fights in a place because a cigar puts out a lot of smoke and not
Oh,
everyone
right.
enjoys a cigar.
Oh yeah.
Where I certainly had to convince a few people. It's like, how about we not try and beat me up because I'm smoking a cigar? Because I would certainly kill you. But it's certainly one of those things. But it is one of those things. I feel that it's one of those things. I'm in control of it, and I'm weaning myself slowly off of it down to a very low level compared to what I used to be. Should I be at the level where I'm just throwing all that stuff away and not doing it at all? Probably. But it's such a low level that I just feel that it's one of those things that I don't feel it's really hurting me that much.
Are we allowed to grow tobacco, like personally or privately, like for ourselves? Because, or is it against the law? I wonder.
I have no idea.
Regular old tobacco?
Yeah, because it's really medicinal.
I don't see why not, especially like down where you guys are living. That probably, I would imagine, would be fine.
Well, because I can't grow mushrooms, right? Like you can't just grow mushrooms, can you?
Well,
If you don't give them to anybody or anything, is that allowed?
That's a little different, I feel, versus tobacco. Because I mean, I grew up in Kentucky where there's fields of tobacco being grown.
Right, and then there's fields of mushrooms growing on cow poop too outside some people's windows.
Right. Gross.
What was
Those are
that?
the good mushrooms. I said gross.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's
gross.
muted.
You're muted? Are you muted?
Not me.
I don't
Him.
think so. Who, Enzo?
Yeah. Are
I
you?
don't think so.
not.
No,
Oh,
he's not
you're not.
muted.
Okay. Sorry.
You should have gone. You should have did the whole.
I'm not muted.
Huh.
I don't know. My sister says maybe that she doesn't think so. I don't think you can grow
I
tobacco.
don't think you can. I don't think you can either.
Really?
Yeah,
They
I don't think
keep
you
it.
can. How would
It seems
anybody
like
know?
and you grow your
I think it's weird that we can't just grow. We should be able to grow whatever we want.
Did you
only
guys hear
4
that?
states currently
Oh,
allow
yeah, what was
what
that?
was that?
That was a really loud car going by the house.
Wow.
It sounded like a transformer.
It was
I
crazy.
thought you had a werewolf out there.
I know.
Only 4 states currently allow residents to grow tobacco for personal use. Those states are Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia.
Wow. Why?
If you live in one of those states and you wish to grow your own tobacco, you must obtain a tobacco grower's license from the state government.
Why is that? Does it say?
It doesn't say
Is
that.
it just because it's taxed, I wonder? Huh.
Probably.
That's interesting. Well, you can make your own liquor, but you have to have a permit.
And that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
How fun would that be? Just doing your own stuff. Like you grow your own grains, you make your own booze. That would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, that'd be way cool well, I mean, I guess I don't drink, so, but it would be cool to make like beer or whatever out of your own garden stuff. That'd be awesome. You can ferment anything. So like, it's weird that that you have to have a permit to make alcohol. Cause can't you just like, I don't know, throw a bunch of fruit in a jug or whatever?
Well, that's what they do in prison. They just throw it in the toilet.
Hooch or whatever they call it.
Prison hooch.
Prison hooch.
Yeah, the pineapple I cut yesterday tasted a little bit like it was starting to ferment. So I put it out in my compost.
Ripe, was it?
Yeah, it was. I was like, I'm going to put this outside for the birds because, birds like fermented fruit. They like to.
You just want to see them trying to fly upside down.
I do. Yeah, I almost said a fermented chicken. I've seen a drunk I think it was a drunk chicken anyway.
There's plenty of videos online of like elephants and stuff like that in Africa that get into some fermented fruit like that, and they're all staggering around and knocking over entire trees and stuff falling down and stuff like that.
That's dangerous.
That's funny. Are you heading out, Bubba? I still call him Bubba. I still call him Bubba.
I still call Timmy Buddy.
Do you? Yeah, I'll always call him that. So,
Buddy. So I'm making a butter. Wait, you can't see it.
Oh, that's pretty. Fermented chicken. Chicken. Ew.
Chicken.
Actually, my husband fermented some chicken accidentally with some baking soda the other day. Yeah, if you put baking soda on meat for too long, it starts to break down the proteins in the meat, and it makes it like yuck.
That sounds good.
Is that the new McDonald's thing?
The chicken nuggets or whatever.
Yeah, it looked like fish.
Chicken nugget juice.
Oh, yum.
Gross.
Yeah, every time I drink a protein shake, I can't help. Somebody told me that protein shakes are made, or that protein powder is made with crickets, and so now whenever I taste it tastes. I think that's what crickets taste like. Yeah, somebody told me that's what protein is in protein powder is crickets. I don't know if that's true.
I don't think so.
My sister ate crickets before.
Yeah, I remember. I seem to recall she may have had some video or some pictures of that.
Yeah, probably ate like a cockroach or something.
I want to say it was scorpions. Didn't she have like a thing with scorpions?
She ate or her friend ate like one of those puffy worms.
Worms, a grub worm. Ew. Susie, do you remember that big grub worm under the log?
Yes, I remember that nightmare. I think of it often. Like it's stuck in my brain.
I know, me too. It was so fat and white.
It was a horror movie. It was a horror scene. It was scary and gross.
Ugh, I don't like. Where
were we? Were we wood cutting, or was it at my house?
No, it was under the log, under my swing set. Like, the logs.
That one. Yeah, that one was gross too.
Yeah.
It was fat and it was like
Yeah, it was.
fleshy. Like
Yeah, it was. It was real fat and real fleshy. It was like the size of my pinky finger.
Yeah, it was
Big.
disgusting.
Oh
funny.
man. Memories.
Yeah, we used to almost turn the swing set upside down. We would swing so high.
Yeah, until I scraped my forehead on that
It was-
log because I leaned back too far.
Yeah, how'd you hit your forehead on the swings?
I leaned back that far and like my hip, I leaned back really far, but we had the swings like all the way low and I forgot and I scraped my forehead.
I was there.
Always someone that ruins it for everybody.
I know,
Right.
Jara.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I guess we can wrap it up on that note.
Yeah, my husband asked me if I could go make some gingerbread cookies real quick.
Yum. Shut
I'm
it
gonna
down.
do-
I want one.
Yeah, I bought a
alright.
big old thing of gingerbread cookie dough from the store the other day.
And then are you gonna make icing and put it and decorate them? Oh my god.
I probably won't decorate them, no, but actually I am gonna do that.
Yeah.
I am gonna, because I make this fruit dip with marshmallow cream and cream cheese. I'm gonna dip my gingerbread cookies in that.
Dude, that sounds
Run,
good.
run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
Hey, you'd be a good voiceover
Cartoon.
guy. You should they have like voiceover like freelance websites or whatever where you can go on there, and you should do that, Enzo. You'd get a lot
I
of
could
work.
earn a couple of bucks probably.
I'm sure you would. And you've got all that radio stuff already set up too.
Yeah, they're hiring people to read books for Audible.
Yeah, I would listen to you, Enzo, because I can't. Most of the audio books that I hear, I can't stand. It's like, why did they pick
It
this?
ruins it. Yeah, it ruins the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Man,
But you know what? Good, because you should read your book anyways. You shouldn't listen to it.
Right.
Unless you have
I had the Kindle version of Lou Elizondo's book, and the reader thing that I have with it has like a computer voice that will read it for you instead of the actual audiobook. And it's super robotic, and it's kind of a pain in the ass because it'll get caught up like at the end of like the chapter where it'll like hey stuff like whatever the last word is, it gets kind of hung up on it until it automatically moves over to the next chapter. But that didn't help me. It did, no matter what the voice was. I don't think I would have liked this book because I'm not a big fan of his. But yeah, the AI should be able to do that. You should be able to take any text where AI can read it for you in whatever voice you want.
I think I think that has affected people's brains because it's really important for you to be able to form pictures in your head and hear your inner dialogue. And sometimes there's people now that don't have an inner dialogue and that cannot form pictures in their head. And it could be because of all this shit that they came up with. That does it for you. Because if they make all this stuff that does it for you, then that's not going to exercise your brain to do what it's supposed to. So that's not good.
Your sister just sent me a picture of a little cup full of bugs to eat.
Ew.
Let me see it. Hold on.
Wait, that she ate?
Yeah, she ate them. She's a bug eater.
Are you going to put it up? I want to see.
I got it.
Hi, bunny. Hi, bunny. Come here.
Oh, there it is. Ew, this is going to be so gross.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Wait, did Nikki eat that?
Yeah, she ate it.
I don't know. I texted her back saying that's just bait that you use to catch other food. It's just,
ew, it kind of looks like
nuts.
Or caramel, or like those candied nuts at Christmas, maybe.
Yeah. Ew. No, you ate one.
I ate one. She said.
What is that? What is that, Nikki? What kind of bug is that?
Is that a cockroach? Is that a
larvae? Like a rice bug or something like that, probably.
That's gross.
Uh,
Did you feel
was
protein
it?
filled? Was it healthy?
I
I
don't. I
wonder
don't see
what.
like a bunch of legs and stuff like that hanging off of it. So it
I
seems
feel
like
like
Yeah.
a
Do
pretty
they
bug
good
do
would
they
be
on it.
deleg it?
nutty.
Ew. That's gross.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I would
Like,
not.
ugh, 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 ugh. Ew,
Ah!
ew.
Brr.
Oh my gosh, Nikki.
It's the guts squirting silkworm pupae.
Oh,
I don't like
why?
it. I don't want it.
Why? Why did you try it? If I have to ask, like, why? Because you couldn't have tried it because you thought it was going to taste good, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the way she is. She's probably like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
You
it.
lost a bet and had to eat this cone of bugs.
So the guts squirt when you bite into it. Ew. It's like a gusher.
Ew.
That's so gross. Why don't they cook it longer?
I don't know.
Are they
Silkworm.
deep fried? Is that what they do? Because
Pupas are like babies, right? So they're like
yes,
little maggots. Those are big babies. How big is the
Those
worm?
are big fat maggots.
Like, how big is the worm that had the babies?
Jeez, can you imagine? Ugh. We were walking around and we each tried one. Yes, right. I thought you said that your friend ate a whole cup of them.
Ugh. I wonder why they eat that. Like, do you think that people actually think it tastes good, or is it like they eat it because they need to eat it because there's nothing else to eat, or like I don't get it.
They
I
really
would
do
think that
have
would have to be
protein.
it. Yeah.
Like when you watch those a lot, Naked and Afraid or whatever, when they're out in the jungle and they like haven't eaten and they do eat a bug, it like keeps them going. It like gets them alive again.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get energy from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I don't know.
Mm.
Gross. Yuck. So, like, how come you can eat a scorpion when it doesn't like have poison in it?
Yeah. How come you? I wouldn't eat a scorpion. I actually despise scorpions.
If you deep fry it, I imagine it probably boils all that stuff out of it. But
Oh, that made me feel
I-
like throwing up when you said that.
honestly, you could deep fry an old tire, and I'd probably eat it. I would certainly at least say I tried one of these. I would try it.
They're normal snacks in Korea? Really?
Yeah.
They
That's
just
so
like it. I guess.
I guess it's not weird. It's just I don't
It's
know.
not weird. It's just weird to us because they also like
It's weird to
kimchi. And
me.
Well,
or
that-
those duck eggs that they bury in the ground for like 5 years and then eat it.
Ew.
So gross.
I know much of the world eat bugs. I know. Yuck.
Well,
We
you know,
eat
you
bugs
eat
too
like
because
10
they put bugs
spiders.
in our food.
Did you know
Right.
that? You eat like 10 spiders a year?
Yeah, and there's a certain amount of allowable bugs that are allowed to be in canned and processed foods.
Oh, yeah,
So,
there's bugs in that shit too.
like they allow a certain amount to just, stay in there. So gross. So unnecessary.
I got
Remember that
hungry
was-
and then I got unhungry. So when we were
Yeah,
talking
this-
about In and Out, I wanted to eat, and now I'm not hungry anymore. So good.
That's it. Is this part of the hypnosis thing?
It is.
Right.
We hypnotize
If
ourselves.
you want to lose weight, just imagine eating bugs. That's all you
Right.
can eat is bugs.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
you can actually do that to somebody though. You can. I actually made somebody sick one time. And I actually made somebody forget their name one time also. But I learned, and I don't do that anymore.
Well, I mean, if it's something like smoking cigarettes, you could say that cigarette is just full of bugs or larvae.
Fish
Or,
gut. I said
Yeah.
putrid, rotting fish guts,
there you go.
and that was not good. Don't tell people that because then it will make them throw up. Because one thing I do is I hand them a cigarette when I'm done to see what they do, and he was like, "Mm." And it's not good. So I don't do that anymore. I learned a lot. I learn as I go.
That's funny.
It works. It works then,
Right?
Okay.
Well, I still have to go make gingerbread cookies. So
Right.
That's
And
right.
I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. So I love you guys. Thank you for coming. And if you're new here and you're seeing this, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Good night, my sister. Good night, Bat Mom. Thank
Good
you for
night,
joining us.
everybody. Yes, then don't
Good night,
forget that
everybody.
she's an excellent coach /
Oh yes, if anything,
hypnotherapist.
anybody's interested in making a positive change in their life, please all of my links are in the bio, and find me and make an appointment, and I would love to help.
She's going to run a special soon too.
Yes, I am. I'm having a Black Friday special, which will be a
Oh,
25% off. Yes, and then after the Black Friday special, I will have my regular Christmas calm down, which is 20% off. So that's a pretty good steal. And also, if you are an existing client of mine and you refer somebody to me, you will get a 50% off, and that's a pretty good deal. So there's that, and I'll be putting some of those advertisements out. And yeah, so everybody, I want you to have a really good rest of your week and enjoy your weekend. And thank you for
Yeah.
joining us. And good night.
Good night and goodbye.